Definitely. We're gonna do a fake partying in my house on on Friday after work. So
Hey guys, I'm JM Longoria from the show Sin Vergüenza or Without Shame, and you're listening to the DJ Danny Show.
good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, July 14th, 2020. Welcome to the DJ Danny Show on HamiltonRadio.net stream HR2. I'm your host, DJ Danny, and I'm so thankful I have guests in the studio. You know how long it's been weird not looking at people next to me?
Wow.
I'm being honest. I really am. There's been so many guests on Skype or GoToMeeting or just over the phone, and there's no visual.
Right.
Nothing. So, again, thank you so much for being here.
you.
I'm thankful to have Ricardo here and Tiffany.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so excited. So, we have a lot we're going to talk about today. I think what we're going to talk about in the beginning for both of you is first, where do we feel like this idea that you had, for Hurt People, this series, where do you feel like you came up with this idea first?
Where did I come up with it? I always tell, similar questions people ask me. Well, it was birthed out of my best friend, Andre, is his name. He passed away. So I think the idea came from just being in a bad mental space, emotional space, losing a best friend. I haven't really been able to kind of, get it all together. So I think it just came from just being an emotional space, the series.
So a lot with the coping was a little hard too, right?
Absolutely, yeah. When you have, when you're with somebody almost every day of your life, and he was literally like, I think I was closer to him than actually some of my siblings.
So sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
I did not know that. My goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So he helped with the idea?
He didn't help with the idea. Well, I can say that my character is definitely inspired by him.
Okay.
But he didn't help with the idea because he had passed on before the Hurt People even was thought of. You get what I mean?
Okay.
So I think after he passed away, I just kind of felt like there were so many things that I wanted to do as far as acting, but I lived in the city of Trenton, and nobody that I knew ever did it. I didn't know how to go about it. I didn't have the resources, I felt like, to really get to where I wanted to go, and then also fear,
Well, Trenton is a little fearful.
just so more. I would say like it was more so fear within myself.
Okay.
You get what I mean? Just feeling like, am I good enough to do this? How do I go about it?
So lot of maybe insecurities?
Yeah, insecurity.
Was affected? Okay.
Definitely. Insecurity. How will I go about this? How do I do this? And I think a lot of times your parents, they do the best they can at what they know how to do. So sometimes
100%.
they could project their insecurity. So my mother and father didn't go to college. So I think for my mother and father, it was so important that I get an education.
Okay.
And I thought that was great. But at the same time, it was more so about stability, which is great also. But it was more so get a job, get a, and be stable, but it wasn't really like go to school and do what you love to do. You get what I mean? And if you do what you love to do, the saying, you'll never work a day in your life.
Of
so
course.
I was kind of,
you still work no matter what.
But you still work, absolutely.
No matter what.
So I think I was more so focused on just going to school and just wanting to be in a better financial, emotional, even my surroundings. You get what I mean? Just get up out of the neighborhood that I was from, and just be in a better situation. But at the same time, I could say I still wasn't fully happy because, I love being an educator and a teacher, but I realized that after my best friend had passed away, it's something about writing, it's something about acting, it's something about directing, it's something about really being able to be creative, being someone else, having empathy for someone else. And I think
affected you
absolutely, definitely. So it's just a blessing. And I think a lot of these characters, whether I know some of them or characters that I was able to create, it just allows me to really live in a space where it's like no judgment zone, because sometimes you can judge somebody and don't even really know their story.
I just don't understand how we can do that in this world. It bothers me more than anything.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, judging is like
it's crazy.
rolling your eyes and just like get on with it. Like just stop. Don't do it anymore.
Absolutely.
Done. It's not 2020. It's like 1990 or behind season.
Right.
But I wanted to also bring up, because you were said for college and everything.
Yes.
Did you go to college? You have an education?
Yes.
What did you go for?
I got a bachelor's degree in social science, and then I was going for my master's, but I kind of stopped halfway through. I was going to get my license. I was going to the College of New Jersey.
A TCNJ.
TCNJ,
Okay.
yes.
That's not that far.
TCNJ,
That's not that far exit from my job.
Okay, Mercer County. I went to Mercer County too, so I got
Okay.
my associates from there. I went to William P. for a little bit, and then I wound up transferring to Thomas Edison. And then
Wow,
after
you
that,
love
TCNJ.
school.
Yes, I was all over. I was trying to figure it out. Like I was like, I'm gonna get this degree.
God bless you. You love school. You got a great education. Exactly where do you feel like down the road when you were in school and stuff, like you wanted to do social? What you said.
Social science. There are times where I still feel like I really wanted to be like a counselor, help people and just figure out why people do the things they do. And
Like a
just
guidance counselor?
more
or
like
more-
a counselor, like a therapist.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of what I wanted to do
You
at
get
first.
to write everything
Right.
down.
And then I was just like, can I do this? Because the type of person I am, I'm very I don't know what the term is, but it's like a empath. So I feel like I would take on people's problems, and I'll be wanting to be like, oh, the little boy didn't eat today, and I would want to take him home, and So I'm
Okay.
like, I don't know if I could be able to do it, because some people, like, you have to be able to cut it. You can't take it home with you. So I think that I would be
you mean their
emotionally
emotion.
overwhelmed.
Yeah, that could
So,
affect
yeah.
you. That could affect you in some way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. But I feel like a lot of it, even with your education and stuff, it's who you are today, where you became what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
So from your education to where you are now, where then in your middle education after you finished did you start thinking about this series?
If I could be honest, it was through when I went to Mercer County. I was on the road of just finishing up, and I needed one class left. I was taking 3 classes, but I needed a 4th class to make it full time because I had a scholarship. So I was like, I always wanted to take like a drama acting course. So I took this drama course.
Yes.
My friend Corinda, who I've known prior, we was in middle school choir together. So I was taking a course, and that's when it just kind of really like a seed was planted. And then the teacher was like, I need everybody to write a scene. And my friend at the time, who we was kind of establishing a relationship because I didn't see her since middle school, she was just telling me who she was going to be. I'm going to be this big actress. I'm going to do this and that. And everybody wrote a scene, and I wrote the scene, and I went over, and everybody loved it. And I'm like, that was just nothing. I had wrote it like an hour before I went to class.
Okay.
And everybody loved it. And I said, this is interesting because I never knew that I was a storyteller. So my friend at the time, which is now my best friend Corinda, who's one of the episodes is inspired by, she found out she has lupus. She was really pushing me like, write, Richard, write. So I started writing, and next thing you know, I had like 3 months later, I had a play called Misery Loves Company. So that was the start of something. But for a long time, I didn't do anything with it. I kind of just was living life. And
were you writing any poetry or anything else on the side?
Mm-mm.
So where did this all come from?
I think before then, when I was younger, I can't sing now, so when I was younger, I used to be in a singing group, so I used to write a lot of music, R&B music, and so I think the gift of writing, I think, has always been there. I didn't realize it,
So you could write music for people as well, like on the side, or they can hire you and you can make money,
right?
For a living that way, or something like that.
Yeah. I haven't
that
done
could
it in a
help
while,
contribute to the Hurt People
Absolutely.
series. That'll pay for a lot.
Okay.
So you never know who's tuning in and always looking for that information. But if that's something that you have a special ability to do, and it's something that you're willing to do, as well as not trying to overwhelm yourself, you can help people that way as well. But that's amazing that you can write music or write lyrics or just anything for the certain person.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That really is. So within Hurt People series, from learning more about it and everything, where then did we get the title for Hurt People? Like, where did that feel like this was going to be the number one changer? I'm sure you had a few names.
I did have a few
So
names.
do you remember some?
I feel like
You gotta think.
Yeah, I have to. I think ultimately, I knew the show was going to be called Hurt People, Hurt People.
Okay.
It was just a saying, that I've heard, and I felt like it just kind of stuck with me because I feel like people hurt. We all hurt each other. Me and my sister were just having a conversation just before we got here, and sometimes you could hurt each other intentionally or unintentionally and don't know. So it's just important to always have that dialogue and just be able to listen. So I always knew it was going to be called Hurt People, Hurt People. And then I was like surrendering. I knew I wanted to deal with something with being broken. Like I felt like it kind of correlate being hurt and dealing with brokenness. So I was just coming out with all kind of titles and surrendering my brokenness. And I'm like, it just did.
So you wanted to do something with broke.
Yes, broken. Okay. Yes, definitely broken. So I was like, okay, broken. I was like, okay, surrender my brokenness hashtag. Like just giving up the broken parts in me. So I was like, oh, okay. So I just was like, but I still felt like it didn't stick. So I remember I was reading, I was in church one day. Shout out to Change Church and Pastor Daniels, and Shamika Daniels. My sister actually was one of the people that kind of took me along. It was like, we're going to start going to, the Change Church. So he was in church one day. He was just talking about how everybody's are dealing with some type of brokenness, whether they realize it or not, something that happened in your life and where you're broken in certain areas of your life. So I was just like, okay, broken.
I understand that situation, girl.
So
that's something broken.
So broken, right? It's broken. So she said broken, and then this guy, he was a janitor, and he was telling me like, Richard, it's this book I want you to read. It's called A Purpose-Driven Life, like understanding your purpose. And I read it, and it was so good. It took me like a year to read it.
Ooh.
But it was just talking about how a lot of us, we have like at least it was just talking about how we at least got like 90 different how we got like 90 different gifts inside of us. We just have to access it. So I was like, okay, cool. So then it was just basically talking about bitter, when you can't let go of the hurt, you become bitter. So I said bitter and broken, and that's what it was. That was the title. Hurt people, bitter and broken.
So it mostly came, your idea that you wanted purposely also came with the book that somebody gave you. So it was totally meant to be.
Absolutely.
Because it was something about purpose, broke, and it was more of something that you wanted to portray as the title of this. Because you want this title to be broad, strong, where a lot of people know the name, and then known by you, know, you and your actors and your characters in the show.
Absolutely.
So you want to have that behind you, and you picked the Hurt People series.
Yes.
Hurt People, the Hurt People series?
Hurt People, bitter and broken.
Okay.
The series.
So it's, okay. Sorry.
Or just say Hurt People, bitter and broken. That's fine,
and
too.
that's what it is. So for the series, when people wanted to know a little bit more about it, when you were working on this series before you consistently tried to get more actors and stuff with what you wanted to portray of the show, what was the show supposed to be based off of?
It was just supposed to be based on life experiences, whether that's faith, whether that's growing up in an urban community, whether that's so many different central characters. You have the one character, Bashir, who's a preacher's kid, who's a people's pleaser. He's just always worried about pleasing others, but he isn't happy within his own self.
Okay.
Then you have my character, Amari, who's the young father, single father.
You play a father?
Yes, I play a single father.
All right. He plays a father.
I play a single father.
I would have never guessed.
Yep, I play a single father. So he's young. He's just out of control. He just wants to turn up. He's partying every day.
He wants to stay lit?
Yes, he wants to stay lit 24/7. He doesn't want to feel any of the pain. And then you have the Bree character, who's she's been in the system her whole life, so she's just trying to figure out who she is. And then Tiffany, you have her character Jordana, and she's just basically like the best friend, the ride or die, like just always just giving her friend positive input and just always there when her friend needs her. We all need a friend like her.
That's awesome. That's your character?
Yes, that's my character.
The microphone.
Oh, yes, that's my character.
She's still so distracted from the phone. It's okay. You're good. If you can describe your character, from the way that you are yourself, do you relate to your character 100%, or is there?
Yes, I do relate to Jordana a lot. Jordana is very, like he said, she's very down, very loyal. She's a rider. Jordana is very good. So I love Jordana. She's the shit.
You know what? It's fine. That's the only curse word you can leave tonight.
Oh.
It's okay.
No more curse words.
It's okay. So with Jordana and, you know, all characters combined and everything, I mean, exactly with this series, does everyone get to meet everyone? Like, how does the interaction work? Is it like, you know, you guys are all so close? Is it like there's a lot of fights? Like, give me a brief idea, synopsis of what some episodes might be like.
Okay, it's so many different things, but I can
That's
say
why
that,
I got you.
Right, I can say
Before you announce season 2.
Right, I can say Brashear, you know, he's when I first started writing, I really wanted to focus to see. It's so crazy because I'm in like the 4th installment now. That's like a little inside where I'm kind of going back to the original intent where I thought it. Originally, I wanted to do a series about brotherhood, and I wanted to show how important the relationship I had with my brother, you know, my best friend. I wanted to show that. And I think as I began to write, I started realizing it was other characters talking that I probably couldn't personally relate to, you know, as my friends. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have my sister, and then, you know, certain people, you know, I kind of created characters around some of them. So the Brashear character, like I said, he's a preacher's kid. So he's kind of, you kind of see it through his eyes, and then it kind of springs off to me. So me and his character kind of interacts. We're best friends, but then the Bree character, who's and been in the system her whole life, she's friends with Brashear, and then eventually she meets me.
Okay.
So all
through
intertwine.
episodes, they start colliding with more and more characters.
Yes, you
where
start
it's
colliding.
More cameos of each.
Yes, they're
Something
all,
like that.
as you watch the episode, we all intertwine, but then at the same time, what's so special about it, we all have our own story. So you'll see us collide, you'll see us in scenes, you know, in episodes together, and then you'll see episodes where it's just, you're seeing solely my story of how my character is just dealing with alcoholism. And that's why I say for me, it was just so important for me to humanize each character. And that's where I was saying it was just about the no judgment zone, because, you know, when you look at somebody and you're just like, oh, they're alcoholic, or oh, they're this and they're that, and you don't understand what's behind it. So it was just important for me to humanize everybody. So when you're mad at one person and then you understand why they are the way they are, you might not necessarily agree with everything, but you'll be able to say, okay, I get it.
And not only that, off scene, everybody that I work with, we all were really cool off scene. Because you have to have a bond off scene to
Tiffany,
be able to work.
Just here, bring it a little
You have to have a bond off scene to be able to work on scene. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. And you don't want it to be fake either, you know?
So with us, we're really like family. The people, you know, everybody we work with, we're
That's
family.
good. But that bond like came really quick?
It's been over a year. Like he said, we're all really family in real life. So when we come together, you know, on camera, it's like it shows. You can see it because we really a family in real life.
That's awesome. I love that though. I know. It's either she wants the mask on or off. It's just let her do hers.
That's what I like about it, because I could still call on Janine. I could still call these people off scene. You know what I mean? I can call on them off scene right now, and they're going to be there. You know, be there for me.
I got you, and I think that's amazing, especially with a TV show or any type of series that you're putting out there. You want to have that sociality, you know, where you all socialize, get to know each other, and be real. And then on the show, or who your character is, if you got to be the mean, spiteful person, it's kind of fun playing that character once in a while, because you know you love the person offset no matter what. So it doesn't affect you no way. But sometimes it can affect your character, like when you're doing scenes, because you might not want to act mean to that person because you're so close. You know, you're going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
But it was all love, though. That's what I like about this. It was all love. And we got together, like I said, even when we wasn't filming, we still got together. And we still.
My next question, because we're talking about this before we get close to announcing more about the series, and then we'll get into season 2 a little bit later, is exactly how did you find, like, when you wanted to normalize everyone, you know, who your actors and stuff were these all close friends that you had and you wanted to put them in the show? Then how did you come up with their characters, or did you do like casting call, hiring? How did you do this?
Okay, so basically, when I decided, this was a real thing and it was something I was really going to do, because again, remember I was saying before about that thing, about the fear.
Yeah.
So.
But there's no fear here. it's real. It happens.
It
So
happened.
it's something
yes.
that's brewing.
Yes,
Still
absolutely.
to this day.
So basically, when I realized it was real, I wrote it. And what I love about it is Tiffany, myself, along with the cast. It's kind of like we're pioneers in a sense in the city of Trenton because it's the first time anybody's ever has done what we're doing. So I see a little bit more now in the city. I see more people doing web series, but it's a blessing that we were able. I realize sometimes I feel like God to create a new thing in you. So to be able to do something that nobody's done before in where we come from is innovative and it's inspiring and I'm just so grateful and
mind-boggling and amazing.
It's amazing
how far you came.
how far I came
and
how
you're
far
still
I'm going.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So I'm just super duper grateful. So when I realized it was a real thing and I got a budget together and everything started coming together when I just started having faith. I just started, some of the people that I knew, some other people I met along the way, some
Okay.
people on social media, So, like Tiff said, we're a family. I can say as the cast, we are definitely a family, but not in a sense of blood, everybody.
Yeah.
I think during the series, we all became a family. We all wanted what was best for the series, and we all wanted the same commonality. We wanted people to heal. We wanted to, we wanted to just be free and just, dive ourselves into these characters. And like I said, it's just a blessing because when we're long gone, it'll be there and people will be able to see our work. And shout out to the whole cast. Our billboard will be up October the 5th to November.
Yes.
October the 5th.
Where? We're located in Trenton?
It's gonna be located in Trenton.
Okay.
Off of Perry Street. It's by the old Trenton Times. It's Ninth Grade Academy. It's called Ninth Grade Academy. So it's a billboard up. It's gonna be up there October 5th through. That's a little inside scoop. October 5th to
Ooh.
November the 30th. So I'm really
stay
excited
tuned.
about that. Yes.
That's early fall, and I love that because fall is
Yes.
my favorite season. So that's
So
the
I'm
best
excited
way.
about the billboard.
Because you had your release or your cast party, but did you reschedule it?
Yeah. So
or is that something that?
it's something that we're still thinking about doing. Maybe something more intimate. Because with the COVID, everything started. We did this. We was supposed to have this big old party at the Masonic Temple in Trenton. This is huge. So we were excited, and then COVID hit, and then it stopped everything. So I pushed
As soon as
back.
I turned 23, it's what happened. That was my birthday was March 3rd.
Wow.
Okay, 3 days after we all got affected.
We all
thank
got
you.
affected, exactly. So the season was supposed to come out on April the 24th. Now I'm pushing it back to November 16th.
Okay.
That's my best friend's birthday. We're actually 3 days apart, a year and 3 days apart. So we spend our birthdays every year together. So this would be great that I'll be able to premiere it on his birthday. And like I said, he was like my inspiration. So
That was the one that recently passed.
Yes. He's been gone for like 5 years now. So I'm going to release it on his birthday, and Tiffany and some of the cast members got a chance to see the first episode of the new season. And when I say it's just interesting because it kind of hits on a lot of things that's happening now and some of the scenes we did over 2 years ago. So it's just, I think it's all about
Because it was all like editing and stuff too, right? That's a
Editing.
huge process in that. Look at your face.
That,
Did you see his face?
Hours.
that's a whole nother monster.
Who's editing? Who does the editing?
Richard does the editing.
I
You
do.
all of them.
No, not all the editing.
Okay.
I have an editor, so shout out to Barry McLean. I actually sit down with him. He actually does the editing,
So you
and I
watch
tell him
him
my
do that
vision,
day
like
in,
okay,
day.
move here, do this, put that here, slow it down, put the music here, like all of that. Like I do the scoring and all of that. So
But
he's
you're used to that though, because
yeah,
this
I'm
is-
used to it because it's just like
It's nothing like new. I mean,
No, it's
because you had to
nothing
do it in the
new.
beginning though, and that probably was like, dude, what?
Yeah, I was like, what? Like, this is crazy. Like, I was like, we shot a scene for 2 hours if for it to only be like a minute and a half. Like, this is crazy,
Yeah,
So
because you have to cut.
you had to
lot.
cut so much, so many hours of editing. So, but it's time consuming, and I think it's with anything. Like if you just what you doing right now, you got your radio station, but people don't know the grind and what it takes to really sustain it. So when people get a chance to watch the series, and I hope people love it, people don't understand that it was almost 2 years in the making. You get what I mean?
Well, I was gonna say, just with anyone that's behind a control panel, especially for engineering, it's not all fun and games. There's a lot of stress, and there's a lot of people sometimes, even with radio or whatever, where they're gonna complain and they're gonna keep fighting until
Absolutely.
they get their way or the way they want to hear it.
Yeah.
And it's hard on, the engineers or whoever has to do it behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Especially on, if there's like something for you with rescheduling. I mean, you're also a director, correct? Am I right? So say that you're filming a few scenes, did not go the way you want it. Retake, retake. Probably the whole day or the whole week of the same scene, and you get annoyed at the scene because it's like drilled in your head and you don't want to do it, but it comes out perfect that last moment.
Absolutely. It's interesting too when you have to direct yourself. Like where I'm at the like some of the
wait,
scenes I have to
really?
I have to direct myself in the scene. So, I have to step out, I have to be the actor, and then at the same time I'm like cut,
That
turn
sounds
around, have
like
to be the
fun.
director. So it's just a lot of hard work, but it's
That sounds
it's
like
a
so
blessing.
much fun.
It's a lot. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of everything, but it's great. It's really really great. And what I love now is the new people coming and new people go. People coming and going. So
Like
it's
part
good.
of the series. Now, with this series, it stays around the characters' lives and stuff, but it's ongoing. So are there still like new characters coming in, like here and there, or is it still like the same characters? Like what else is coming on with it?
So with season 1, like I was saying, Bashir, Amari, Bree, they're the main, I guess I say, protagonists. They're the main characters of the first season, and then as you go into the new season, you still see them.
Okay.
But the focus is a little bit more. I would say, I adjusted it a little bit. Like I kind of focused it on the new season on these 3 little boys who grew up in the city of Trenton. They're homeless. Their mother has left them, so they have to figure it out.
Oh,
And I think
boy.
what's so interesting about it, like I was saying about the no judgment free, no judgment zone.
Yeah.
I'm an educator, so I think sometimes it's really easy to get sometimes frustrated.
Oh yeah.
You have these these expectations for your kids, and you want them to learn, and you don't even understand nor could fathom what's going on at home. So in your mind as an educator, you're trying your best to educate their child, and I want them to learn this, but you don't even know if this child ate last night, or you don't know if their mother and father, are fighting, or if mom
Yeah.
had to work all night, or
Well, does
a
that
kid has
affect
to.
with the acting, or is that more of what's in the storyline?
I think it correlates with these 3 little kids because they still have to get up every day and almost kind of live an adult lifestyle. Meaning, you have these 3 kids, they're homeless, they're living in bathrooms, abandoned houses, all different type of living. It was one scene where they woke up and they're all 3 sleeping on a bench. And they have to get up every day and still go to school and act like everything is normal. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
so hard.
It's so hard. No father, no mother.
And then how do
So-
you direct that? I feel like I would want to cry.
I mean, it's
at
definitely
the
something.
scenes, like so hard, like heartstring
It
pulling.
is, but what I realize is there's a lot of our reality. When you grow up in the urban community, is a lot of our. It's a lot of our reality. So
And
it was
what we
kind of.
deal
It
with.
wasn't really hard to kind of portray it. But it definitely. I think for me, if I could be honest, most of the characters, if not all, are African American, right?
Okay.
But our stories are universal. Everybody relate. Some people could relate to maybe not having a father in their life. Some people could relate to maybe not having a mother in their life. Some people could relate to somebody in their family having, being an addict or struggling with alcoholism. So even though the characters are African American, it's not our series is not like a color. It's a universal language. So everybody could be able to relate to it in some way. If it's not one character you could relate to, it's somebody else you could relate to. Maybe my character, you can't relate to, but might be able to relate to the character that's a people's pleaser and want everybody to be happy.
That's me.
But self deals with self-esteem and taking care of themselves. Or
Yeah.
you might be like what Tiffany said about the character that's so loyal, but she feels is not reciprocated on her end. So or the girl who's just been in the system her whole life, and she's
Free.
ever known is to hurt everybody around her, and she doesn't even realize that she's self-inflicting that because she's hurting on the inside. So that's every time, every transgression, it's someone dealing with some type of hurt. So whether his hurt, even with my character Amari, some people, they're like, he's funny, he's turning up, but people don't realize he has a disease as well. Like underneath all of the fun
Yeah.
and turning up, he's really sick.
That's where all
He's
that
really
affects.
broken. You get what I mean? So it's like I say, everybody's dealing with some type of hurt. and each character. And these three little boys, they did an amazing job. None of them acted before. Actually, this was all our first acting job, all of us. So
How did you find them? Was this
two-
casting call?
two of them actually was my godsons.
Okay.
And then I found the other one. I found him through. He's actually my little cousin. I found him through family. One day I was on in Ocean City, Maryland, and I was just talking, and he was somebody that's singing and dancing and acting.
And you're like, I need you.
I was like, yeah,
Come over here.
You know, so
I got a
just
gig for
worked.
you.
It just worked. It just worked. So I'm just excited. Season 1 is lit. I want everybody to tune into YouTube. It's called Bitter and Broken web series on YouTube. So that's season 1, and in a couple of months you'll be able to see season 2. So
Now for season 1 for everyone to view, you said it's on YouTube. Is there other places that you're looking to?
CTF TV network. They had picked
Christian?
this. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Yes,
they
they
picked-
picked up the show.
They
so I
picked
know
up the
exactly.
show.
Good.
Yup. In
Okay.
February, we went to a talk show called the I forgot the guy gonna kill me. The Culture. We went to a talk show called The Culture, and they liked it. And then the guy Eric came up to me at the end.
Yeah, Eric is amazing.
Yes, super amazing. Shout out to Eric.
Yeah.
And he was just
CFTV.
like, yeah, we started talking. He was like, I just love what you're talking about, and I already had
Very
in my mind
faith related too.
yes, and I already had in my mind like what I need to do to get this thing on here. And he was like, I'm just gonna take him off. And then next thing you know, I got the message that they picked it up, and I was just so like, wow.
So they picked up full season
the
1?
full season, yeah. So I was just so I don't even know if I told my sister that. Oh, you did, yeah. So I was
Well,
just
if not, she heard it now on the radio.
yeah. So
Just a year later, or however.
a couple of months in February, but I think it's great. It's just so cool because I know that the shows and stuff that I've seen growing up. So to be able to have a little bit of that, and for people to watch it, and when people come up to me or inboxing me, people I don't know, they'll be like, I love the show, or I love Jordana,
That's awesome.
or
yes.
I love Amari. Amari is lit. Like I'm just like so overwhelmed with like love and gratitude because I'm just like, wow. And I thought I wasn't good enough to do it. You get what I'm saying? Or I thought I didn't have the.
You put the positive energy out there, and it comes back to you.
And then it
Definitely
comes back,
does.
absolutely.
I believe in the universe, so whatever you put out there definitely comes back to you in a positive way.
Absolutely.
Have you thought? Do you have a website?
Don't have the website yet.
So is that something that you're brewing?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I feel like another great thing for you would be is release a website.
Yeah.
With season 1 and season 2, or just season 1, or whatever's out there.
Yeah.
Or trailer, or sneak peek, whatever.
Yeah.
And you push everyone to that website.
The
That
website.
way you get your views from the website as well. You can see who came to your website, like
Yeah.
with the views or however many page likes or anything with that.
Okay.
And that way because YouTube, not saying that it's fake or anything, but sometimes it's so hard to see what your views are on there because they block so much stuff. And I want you to get the benefit for what your show is.
Yeah.
So if you have your own website and you're taking care of it and it's your website, you can post your own blog on there, you can put all your series on there. Then you can tell people you go to this website.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds amazing.
And see how professional that sounds, though? Like, just to say, I have my own website. You can come here, and you can just binge on this website all night. And you
Yes.
can just watch, all
as
of
many
them.
times as you want.
All of the series. And, I mean, honestly, you can make them pay for ads, too, or it could be no ads.
Right. Right.
Where you get some money through there, too.
Yeah.
But this is something you can look at a little bit down the road for yourself as well. But
Absolutely.
these are ideas that you need to hold on strong because you just have to think it. And then you might have somebody reach out to you. Hey, do you have a website? Hey, do you want a website? Can I make you a website? What are you looking for? And,
It didn't happen.
so I think honestly that would be the biggest goal for you after maybe season 2 is you look into getting a website so it has your own stuff in case anything gets taken off YouTube or anything anywhere. You don't want to lose what you have out there. And you're holding on to all your stuff, right? Like you have second copies of anything if it ever gets destructed or anything. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were still...
No, I was saying, yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Okay. No, I'm just saying you just have to be really careful sometimes.
Yeah,
and I don't want you to
absolutely.
get screwed over with anything. So...
Yeah.
Especially with the internet, because people think that stuff is always going to be there, and you just don't know. What we're going through now, stuff is just drastically changing. So, like you said, he need to have his stuff, in his possession.
100%. And I think it would be amazing if he had his own website. Please, a huge cast photo right when you go to the first page.
That sounds dope.
I mean, that's on my website right now for the promotion, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so that's definitely something that you should look forward to a little bit, maybe down the road or after season 2, just for yourself and your cast. You could even have a cast page where you have all the pictures of the cast on who and what characters they are in their cast photos.
Absolutely.
Something like that now.
Yeah, on the Facebook page.
You
Yeah.
have it on Facebook. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you want to, eventually have your own thing where you don't have to rely on too much of social media.
Yeah.
I mean, social media is the best thing to use right now, but if you have your own website, you push that.
Right.
Then you push social media.
Right.
But
Then
your
you push it.
website's like your baby. It's your number one that you will
Gotcha.
take care of and probably edit the heck out of completely, right? Can do live and stuff on there. So that would be something you should look forward to down the road. I think would be amazing for you
Yeah.
guys, and hopefully I see it down the road.
That's what's up.
That you have a
Thank
website.
you.
But as for your series, we were talking about for season 1, when everybody was tuning in, could you say that this show might have some triggering moments for some viewers?
Triggering moments. What
Just-
you think, Tiff?
Yeah, I do. For instance, well, if I could be honest, the little boy, one of our members, he, our family kind of thought that, the stuff was really,
Mike,
like hands on.
she's good.
So, for instance, like he said, some people are really dealing with this stuff in real life. We're not
Yeah.
trying to make nobody feel like, we're not trying to make nobody feel like they're targeting just because, they didn't have a mother or a father. We just want
Yeah.
people to know that people really are dealing with these situations. We're not trying to target certain, like, he's not trying to make me look bad. He's just trying to, people are dealing with this stuff.
No, I understand. It's
real,
kind of
you
bringing
know.
like an awareness to it a little
Yeah.
bit as well,
And it makes
for
people
people
wanna
that don't
talk
know.
about it,
Yeah.
Because people are so scared to talk about depression and homelessness. They don't want to talk about that stuff.
It's
it's real.
hard for a lot of people. But what I meant by like triggering, because you said alcoholism, so is there
Yeah.
alcohol or is there any like abuse like in the show? I'm just trying to say for viewers that want to watch and viewers discrepancy basically. Is
Yeah.
there anything like sexual nudity?
No,
Like what?
no.
No. It's
asking.
no sexual nudity.
right.
I could say we have a real powerful episode, and it was crazy because it almost didn't. Actually, I didn't write it. It was something that I kind of just did on the spot. Episode 4 is called "When I Cry, You Cry," and it's basically a scene where, I mean, the show been out for 2 years now, so I could talk about it. A young man, his name is Jordan, and his brother Corey. They're running in the alleyway, and then one of the characters, Jordan, he's gunned down by a police officer. So,
Okay.
you can imagine the trauma that the other brother is going to, feel or deal with throughout his lifetime because
Yeah.
to watch his brother get murdered by a police officer. So those are things we
Ooh,
talk
that's
about.
a little traumatic.
Absolutely. So actually, season 2 it picks up at that very moment.
Okay.
So you'll see.
So it's a flashback
absolutely.
I like
So-
those.
So you'll see the brother.
when it pulls me in.
Yep. So yeah. So when you watch season 2, you'll see the other brother who actually lived, who had a choice whether he was going to stay with his brother and get killed or he had to run. So he ran. He was scared for his life. So in season 2, you'll see the other brother who survived. He's running. And that scene is very emotional. Again, alcoholism. We talk about homelessness.
Okay.
I could say religion or maybe bad religion.
Rejection.
Rejection.
Is there any
absolutely.
physical abuse or like profanity?
We talk about domestic violence in season 2.
We don't use a lot of profanity though.
No, we don't use
wasn't
any.
cussing a
Okay.
lot.
No, we don't use any.
Well, that's good.
profanity.
There's so
Yeah.
many reality shows or just TV shows that are out there that find it cooler to curse.
Yeah. No profanity in the series.
Positive vibes only.
Yeah, positive vibes only.
That's good.
But yeah, so those I think would be those things, and then you have the mother. My character, we're from the islands of Saint Vincent. So she's, she came over to America. She wanted to have a better life, for me and my son, and she's conflicted. Do I help my son? Am I enabling my son by being there? Am I enabling my son by picking up, his son, from being there for parent teacher conference, so she's trying to walk that line. Am I enabling him or am I helping him? So sometimes it's hard for parents to you know, figure out which one it is, you know, and then
Yeah.
my character not having a father as well. So it's just like some parents may, you know, kind of feel a little guilt, like, you know, he didn't have, you know, his other parents, so they may overcompensate. But I think me and the one who plays my mother, Janine, we did a really good job as portraying mother and son. You know, it was really good. I think those were some of my favorite scenes with her, and also I would say with the little boy who played my son last season it was Braylon. This season is who plays my son. His name is Asmar. So
Okay.
those scenes were some of my favorite.
So different
scenes.
sons.
Different sons.
So
same
we
character.
can definitely view that out. That's fun. I like
Yeah.
you know, trying to scope that stuff out on the TV
Yours
show.
is a different same son, different look. I guess. So I think those were
Different style.
different style. So I think
Probably.
those are some amazing. Those were the times where I was watching back, and the scenes I did with the son. I was just like, wow, because I'm not a father. So those are the times where I was like, wow. This
So
was
you
really
made
feel
yourself a
cool.
father
I
because
made
you
myself
wrote
a
all the
father.
scenes, right? Well, you wrote who you want the characters to play.
Yes, I wrote the whole thing.
Now, when you were doing that, what I was trying to say, like a little bit in the beginning, was how did you portray each to the character? You know, for like what Tiffany's character is, for you wanted to play a dad. I think that's just a dream role you wanted, but you gave it to yourself anyway.
Right. I don't know. I think I just kind of just wrote, and then, you know,
Or you-
casting changed. You know, I think I had an idea who I thought Tiffany was going to be, and it changed. I had an idea who I thought Frederica was going to be, which is Summer, who also, we talk about a mother who has lost their child through a stillborn, who's angry at the world, who's angry at God. And that's traumatic for some people who lose children. So we also talk about that. So when you watch the episode, the 1 through 8, you're definitely going to be doing some crying, because we're talking about things that people are not talking about. And we're talking about things that happen every day. So it's just touching, and we try to give at the end, we try to give, you know, hope and how you get through it, you know, whether that's praying, whether that's God, going through counseling, you know, working on your mental health, you know, it's a lot, you know, so
Definitely for an awareness, but are some episodes when they end, are they upsetting? Like, are they emotional?
absolutely.
So
Some of them
a
are
lot of
definitely
them-
emotion.
So some of them might be positive and some of them might be like, it's a mix.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're not going to give it away.
Yeah, I can't
Especially
give
because
it
I
away.
haven't seen it. So he's like, I can't do that. I'm sorry. That's not what I came on here
I think
for.
most of it, though, is definitely when you watch the whole thing through, is definitely hope. You'll definitely, like I said, see hurt, and, you know, a hurt in every character. But you'll see, like, at the end, you know, it's hope. And it's for some characters, you'll see that you know, the drama or certain things continue, you know, and it might
Okay.
take them a while to get to that happy ending.
That's what I was going to
you
ask.
know,
I was going to say.
But it's a process for everybody, because everybody's life is different. So everybody has their own trials and tribulations. So,
Yep.
and that's just how life is. You know, you up and you down. So you'll just see the ups.
It's a
and
roller
downs of
coaster.
life is a roller coaster. You're up one day, you're down the next day, you're up, and you just got to keep going.
It is. And it's sometimes it's hard to keep up with. It's
It
like a
is.
hamster wheel.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like a lot with the series, the Hurt People series, Bitter and Broken.
Yes.
When you just created this was totally a vision that maybe you felt something completely where you wanted to just show everyone through a TV show or, you know, a series where it can show and help bring awareness, but it also is great for you guys because, you know, for the acting and all
Yeah.
the stability of that. And it shows so many people what to not be afraid of and what's out there.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot with that is when you created it, it was something that maybe was this like, did it feel like a dream or something? Like I know it came to you quick, like for the writing process and everything you said, but was this something down the road that you just slowly maybe started thinking of and then, you know, it finally became something?
Yeah.
Like in the back of your head, kind of?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that I was going to, you know, so it's so crazy because when I meet people, actors or writers, people that just starting their project off, people be like, I started off with a short film and I did this and that. And I'm like, I just went straight into, I'm going to do a whole series, you know? So I went straight to the extreme. But
That's the best thing.
yeah, like, you know.
And
so,
no hurt, right?
Yeah, none.
Or no negativity. I mean, were there ever did it feel like you had to deal with anything stressful besides frustration of the filming? Besides like everything else?
Absolutely, because I can honestly say everybody I love, and I just want to say thank you to every cast member because and I was just talking. I had did a radio interview recently, and I was just telling people if people understood what it took to make the series, even the season one, it was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. You get what I mean? Like where whether a cast member got sick or
Oh yeah.
I remember it's in episode 2. Janine, who plays my mother, I think just 2 or 3 days before she had surgery,
Oh my
and she was like,
gosh.
"Richard, I'm going to show up, in pain and everything," and she was there, and you won't even know. You won't even know the things that people were going through in real life. I mean,
Yeah, before
I
it was
feel like it
filmed.
was a show, the behind the scenes stuff, because it was real life, really happening.
Did you record that too? That's
No,
something
I
you could do
didn't. I wish,
afterwards. Do it
yeah.
for season 2.
Yeah,
Get
well,
some
see,
good
maybe the
moments.
third one because season 2 over.
Oh,
So
yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's
right.
filmed.
Yeah, you did. Okay.
But the things that people were going through, like life was really happening for all of the characters. So I think when you have life going on and then you have to show up to work and be someone else. I mean, that's life too.
Yeah.
Whether you go through things, you still have to show up to work and
Oh,
be
tell me,
somebody else.
you just want to lay in bed and take a sick day. That's
Yeah,
how I feel
absolutely.
every single day. I was like, it just would be so nice. I
Right.
just don't feel like driving to Pennington, but you know what?
Right.
Suck it up, and somehow I end up there. So
Right. So you just, so I just thank everybody, for being a part of my vision. And I'm just so indebted to everybody because I couldn't have done it without them. So it's not a I thing. It's a
Oh, of
we
course.
thing.
But for for
so-
like the directing and producing, I know you've been a part of, but do you have other people that helped you film and everything as well? Nuh-uh. You're kidding me. You must have a lot of stress. You did this all on yourself?
Yeah.
But all different characters and all different scenes and all different places, like filming?
I think when you
Would you get up 4 a.m.?
No, I mean, but the thing about it is what I love about the guy that I work with who shoots it and edits it.
Okay, so there is a guy.
Yeah,
It's
he
that guy.
shoots it
Okay.
and he edits it. Well, I co-edit because we sit down and I tell him what to edit and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the whole thing as a we'll break things down because we still work. So we'll be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do this weekend. We're gonna focus on these scenes. This
Okay, so you do
weekend.
it weekends.
Yeah, or sometimes
during
we
the
would do it
week?
during the week. Yeah,
Okay.
I
Depending
don't.
on your schedule,
Yeah,
probably.
depending on the schedule. We don't shoot every single day. Because everybody still got to work. This ain't cut the check yet. You get what I mean? So
I
we
know, I
still
got
got to
you,
do
I
our
got
9
you.
to 5.
Do
So
you
we'll just shoot like
You
on
do
the
it after
weekends
work?
or after work.
Okay.
Or we'll do it on the weekends. We'll dedicate. Okay, we got to get up early this morning. This is the times we got.
Because if you got little kids and stuff, you can't get them past a certain time.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Or
Like
they're
we
in
would,
bed.
we would film early, on the weekends. We would film sometimes practice late, during the week, and our parents were supportive. And oh my goodness, these kids, they just, I mean, everybody is amazing. I just think to have kids, that could have been, they kind of grew up on the series. I feel like, Kayon is 15, Archie's 14, and Chris is 12. So when they started the show, the characters, I think they were like 10 and maybe 11 or 12. So the last 3 years, they kind of grew up on the show. So to have these
so
kids get up on
close.
every Saturday, where they could have been, I want to sleep in. What I love is I was teaching them a work ethic. You get what I mean?
Okay.
So
At a young age.
at a young age, you gonna get this work ethic.
And then when they
So,
get older, they're
they
going to be
get
like,
older, they gonna know.
why did I do this?
So when they get older, they'll kind of know. So
Then they'll always get up at that time, no matter what, even if they could sleep in. It's just not nice.
So they would get up, sometimes 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, in the morning, and we would shoot for like a couple of hours, and so it was great. It was really good to be able to bring certain things out of the characters, out of the people. Just to see different sides, because sometimes you don't always see, we're layers of people. We have, we're multi-dimensional. So to see different sides, the actors that I didn't see in their own personal life, it was just like, wow, like, okay, you have this, and to pull that out of certain people, it was just amazing. And some scenes, emotional. It's like, wow, like this is really real. You get what I mean? So
Yeah.
I definitely had a couple of scenes where I was so stuck while filming. Well, not literally filming, but directing, and I
Yeah.
was just like, I had 2 of those moments in season 1 and season 2, and where I was like, and the guys looking at me like, are you gonna need, the acting was so good, like I just wanted them to stay in the moment, and I couldn't even yell cut. I was just like, let them kind of be free and let them be artistic. And
Okay, was there a lot of improv as well in the series?
A little, but not really.
Okay,
I
so
think
they
most,
stuck more to their
yeah,
script.
they
Well, I
stuck more to
didn't
the script.
like know if they could improv or like what
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
they
Most
could
of it, I
portray.
would say like 90, probably like 5% was sticking to the script. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's some stuff it might be a little improv, but most of it was sticking to the script.
Okay.
Definitely.
Now, how was it? Was it hard to get the kids to learn some of the like lines?
I think it was hard at first, as far as because they
It's
just wanted to
fun,
play
but
around.
oh,
I'm like,
please.
listen,
I want to play around.
I
I mean,
yeah, they just wanted to play around every time. They ain't see each other for a while, so they just wanted to play with each other. And
at least they didn't rip the scripts or anything,
Right,
and
right.
or use like paper airplanes, or
Right.
something.
so they just wanted to keep playing over and over. So it took a while. But what was so amazing that when they got done playing, they would just kill it, and it was just so interesting to see them become these people. Become the Tristan, the Jordan, the Corey, become these actual people, like live and breathe them, and
Yeah.
for their parents, some of them seeing it, they'll cry, and it's just like, wow, who knew that was in my child? You get what I mean? So I feel like every individual, we all are assigned to each other. We all are connected to one another. So
100%.
if one person doesn't do what they're called to do, then it's other areas where other people lack. So what I mean by that is, by me being able to really sit down and write this series, Hurt People, I was giving myself an opportunity, and giving my cast, and my cast was giving me an opportunity to do something amazing. And then the people who watch it, whether they'll get inspired to want to do their own series, or they'll get healed to say, you know what, I'm dealing with alcoholism, I'm gonna go to get help. You get what I mean? Or guess what, I don't know my mom, I don't know where I come from. You know what, I'm going to go look and find out. Or guess what, I have daddy issues. Or I have one of the women, we did some scenes where one of the young women, she was very so just promiscuous because she had daddy issues.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
or just to figure out what it is that they're dealing with. Like I
What
said,
makes us tick?
yeah, and just trying to get to that healing process. So
To
we're
try to
all
make it
we're
better.
we're all, like I said, we're all connected. So doing this, it gave me courage. I was in a play last year, and hopefully after COVID over, I'll be able to go back to that. That gave me a courage to be in someone else's production.
Theater is so much fun.
Yeah,
Without COVID.
without COVID.
Theater is 100% fun. Especially Kelsey Theater.
Kelsey Theater, yep.
Mercer County.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say you knew about that. So.
Yeah. So just realizing that, like, we all connected. So it's my responsibility to do what it is that I'm called to do, because somebody else is going to see it. Like, me growing up watching Tyler Perry, me growing up admiring the singer Brandy. Like, you see these people, and then it's just like, oh, okay, I could do that. You get what I mean? But if they didn't do what they were supposed to do,
So much hard work.
you get what
though.
I mean? So much hard work.
It like telling you, people might think it's the easy route for you guys.
No.
And you have the benefit right now as well to tell them, but let them know how much hard work you put in. Like, how much sleep are you not getting?
You want to
You
answer
know?
too?
I
Yeah,
mean,
okay. It's
just-
it's a lot. It's a lot of
It's a lot of
sacrifice.
stress.
It's a lot of times where you just like ready to throw in the towel. You get what I mean? Like, you could just choose the easy route. I could just work a 9 to 5 or whatever.
I'll skip dinner tonight and just do this, or
Yeah,
just,
so-
you're tired. Like,
Yeah, I feel like with the COVID, it allowed me to kind of take a break from it,
okay.
and it allowed me to appreciate it even more. Because I was so engulfed in it, I felt like there were times where I wasn't really appreciating what I was doing because I was constantly going. So I think when COVID hit, it allowed me to kind of self-reflect and look at, like, because people will come up to me and be like, oh my God, you guys know what you're doing? And I'm just like, I'm in it. So I don't see myself. So when COVID hit, I was
Okay.
able to take myself out of it and look at, like, wow, what we're doing, and say, like, wow. And it also made me appreciate it. It made me miss it,
Yeah.
because there were times you start realizing, like, I just need a break from this, because it becomes overwhelming. It becomes a job, and I always tell myself, like, I want to have fun with it.
Yeah.
And there are times where it's not always so much fun.
It's more
and
professional
More
and-
professional. And
and
even
down
when you
to
start
basis.
getting into the business side of things, it's just like, I just want to act. I just want to write. And then the business side makes it not fun. And you just feel like, I just want to.
Very complicated.
Yeah, it makes it
situation.
complicated.
Yeah.
So I think with the COVID, it just allowed me to sit back. I was just talking to the editor today, where he sent me episode 1 and 2 of the 3rd season, because we actually started filming the 3rd season before the COVID hit.
Man, he's got season 3 almost filmed.
Yes. So
Lord.
so
You quick.
we was it's a process, but we were halfway done with the third season. Then COVID hit. We probably have been done by now. But
Oh, so you have 2 and 3 you're releasing, not just 2.
no, we have 2. They'll probably be released next year.
Okay.
But
Gotta save some for 2021.
okay. Yeah. So 2021. The third one will be released. But we're like probably like 65% done. So hopefully we'll get a chance to shoot soon, just in case this wave come again. But again, it's amazing, and I'm grateful that I was able to do it with these group of people.
I'm thankful that you're so grateful to be with your cast members and to build the relationship like family, as Tiffany was saying. I think that's, like I said, the best thing behind a TV screen, TV film. And the best part is, soon enough, are you looking to try to get it broadcasted to other spectrums or realms?
Yeah, I think, because it's the beginning, I'm still learning a lot of things,
Okay.
So whether
Yeah.
entering into film festivals, like we enter into the American, I think Black Film Festival, so they reached out, they told us or whatever that they like what we were doing, but to just keep going, keep working at it, you get
Okay,
what
so
I mean?
they want
So
more, a little
lot
more,
more, and you start looking at a lot of stuff like, okay, this could be better, this sound could be better, but
It's
when
like
you don't have
small
the
little stuff,
it's
though,
little
right?
stuff, but when you don't sometimes have that big machine, you get what I mean? Or
Is it the camera projective?
it could be like the quality of the camera.
Okay.
Like I don't have the $5,000
gotcha.
camera, or you get what I mean, or
Our
just the
phones are
colors, or
best.
just anything,
Now
or the,
everybody likes negativity and drama.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's just the
You know-
equipment, certain things like the sound or certain music or just the look or just a lot of stuff that, some of the comments that I was
Just to
getting.
put
So
it there.
I'm still, learning in the beginning.
But are you looking to see if somebody could reach out to you, like maybe to put it on TV?
That would be
or
amazing.
something? Like,
Yeah.
or what else are you looking for? Like also searching for as well as you're still filming.
Right.
Like how do you reach out? How do you branch out that way for yourself and your castmates?
Just to continually, we using the social media. Like with social media, I was able to reach out to a lot of different people. Whether that was people from New York or
Having a
Jersey.
website would be the best thing too.
Okay. Reaching out to people, social media has really, really helped. Like just reaching out to a lot of people. That gave me, a platform. And then we're supposed to be having, I think in November, we're supposed to have like a commercial.
Ooh.
So that's supposed to come out, and then that's supposed to, the guy we supposed to have an interview with him, and that's hopefully that'll open up some things. So yes, I'm always open to those possibilities. Nothing has come our way as far as that yet, but
Okay.
we'll see what the future
Just-
holds. But
yeah.
I'm always open, absolutely. Listen, I ain't trying to do us for
I mean,
nothing.
as soon as he met me, he was like, "When can I be on the DJ Danny show?"
Right, exactly.
I was like, "Got you."
Right.
Well, because I'm getting ready to do a Cat of the Week very soon, where I'm going to be showing an animal in a few minutes, where I'm just going to show an animal. I believe we have Baxter that I have. They're going to show a picture, and then I read, and we try to help with adoption, fostering, and transportation for the puppy kitty New York City in New York City, just to help awareness for animals as well. But I was going to say a little bit after that, I want you to make sure you let people know where they can find the Hurt People Bitter Broken series.
Yeah.
And where they can stay tuned with updates and all that information. So all the social media, and then the last minute shout outs that you want to portray out for the
Okay.
show, because we have to get ready to close soon. But real quick, Doc G, you have Cat of the Week? Okay. Okay. Sorry, just waiting on a... I hate dead air. Okay.
This is Train, and a new segment on the DJ Danny Show is Cats of the Week. 'Cause I was born in the wild.
Poor Baxter was rescued off the streets in terrible shape and with a broken jaw. We nursed him back to health, and now he is looking for his forever home. Baxter has been through a lot, and he will need a very patient adopter with a quiet home. He has been with his foster for a month and a half, and is still starting and he still is just starting to come out of his shell since the healing. He does play a little bit, but he's not crazy about being pet. But when he can be pet, he can be pet when he's eating. He just started rubbing on Foster for the occasional pet, but he still is not always approachable. The relationship is on his terms, but we can finally see him starting to come out of his shell and become a cat. We are not sure of Baxter's age, but he's neutered, vaccinated, and ready for his forever home to show him what love is. If anyone is interested in Baxter for Puppy Kitty New York City, you guys can go to www.puppykittty.org. We're looking for help for transportation, adoptions, and fostering. Again, this is for Baxter, but they have a lot of other animals that we like to show every Tuesday, just for everyone that's looking out and try to help for a pet. Dogs and cats we like to show. Thank you. All right, we are back to you guys. So we have a lot going on with you guys. I know you're still working on season 3, which is going to be in the future.
Yes.
Exactly.
I can't even give a date with all this corona stuff.
Exactly. It definitely defaults a lot of that situation. It's not fair. But for season 2 we have coming out with everyone that's going to be tuning in, where can people find out more of this series?
Season 2. So for everybody out there listening, please, if you get an opportunity, please watch season 1. Again, on YouTube, we just use the subtitle. So we just use Bitter, Bitter, the and sign, Broken, Broken, web series. And you guys can watch, subscribe. Please subscribe. We love comments, so I'll get a chance to read all the comments. So I love it,
And you
even
like
the
to
not so
respond to
nice
them?
ones.
Okay.
You know, I like to read the nice ones too. So yeah, please subscribe. Watch episodes 1 through 8. And season 2 will drop November 16th at 12 a.m. So I'm gonna drop it at midnight. Facebook is Hurt People, Bitter and Broken. This series, you can follow us on Instagram, Hurt People series, and you can also catch us also on the CTF TV network. Our series is there. If you want to follow me, my name is Ricardo Richard on Facebook. Tiff, you want to tell them your Facebook?
My Facebook is Tiffany11. Just watch and stay tuned. We have big things coming. Stay positive and, look out for Hurt People. Bitter Broken.
It's coming, and it's coming. It's still coming, and
Yeah, so look
really
out for the
excited
trailer
for season
soon.
2.
Trailer will be out soon.
So exactly, I meant to ask another question too. So season 1 is 1 through episode 8, and season 2 is
1 through 7.
8 through 7.
Well,
It's gonna be starting at 1 again.
Yeah, because I think
Okay.
every season you just start back from 1, even though the story might continue. But
But you have 8 episodes in season 1, so you have a cliffhanger. That's what you have. I'm just gonna put that out there. I believe it's a cliffhanger.
Okay.
I don't even know, but I'm gonna say it's a cliffhanger.
Yes. Okay.
Well, there's 1 episode missing, and now it's got me on my toes. So, cliffhanger? Yeah, maybe so. I mean, come on, you totally did it on purpose.
Right. You gotta be strategic. Okay.
You know what? That's fun though when you're doing a lot of the acting and, like you said, for pulling yourself away for being a director.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty funny and amusing as you can look at yourself and be like, okay, you have to go over there.
Right. You gotta. Like, okay.
You have to go over here. You have to get in character.
Right.
And, you
And
gotta
it's
get,
like
and then
so
you're just
many-
like, and you're like, cut. Okay, it's my scene.
Right. Exactly. So
So,
it's pretty cool.
It's a
super
different
excited.
personality that you can like throw on and off of you.
Yeah, definitely. So sometimes I'm like, I just like to, I love the acting part. But being able to just focus that day on just the other talent, sometimes is great. You get what
Do
I
you
mean?
ever pull the character on you while you're you right now? Does that happen or no? Maybe just
no,
like,
I
no?
don't think so. Nah,
Okay.
because
Maybe
my
get in
character is
season 3.
ratchet. He is. Listen, he's gonna turn up. He's gonna. You get what I mean? He's just like he's that type of person. I feel like I would want to be more a little bit, not with the drinking, but just more so like
Party.
not that, just more so like be more fearless.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like just enjoy every moment. You know, not be so
Live your life.
Live your life. Not be so cold.
There
not
you go.
So focused
Now
on
it's
the
coming
future.
out.
You know, yeah. So not be so cold. It's so cold. So not be so focused on the future and what the future has to offer, but just staying present with the moment, enjoying life right now.
So that's what you kind of have in common with your character too.
No, that's what I want to be more so like.
So what do you have in common with your character
What do I have in common?
besides being a dad? Because you're not a dad.
I'm not a dad. What do I have in common with him?
Is it like his? Like I know you said you want to have his fearlessness.
Yeah, I wanna
completely,
have
but
his
You
fearless.
have some fearlessness now
Yeah.
before the
with
series,
project,
so that's
yeah.
something you kind of have in common with him.
Yeah. What do I have similar with Amari? I think deep down inside he's a good kid. Very loving. I think we have that similarity. He cares. And I know how to have fun too. You get what I mean? So I know how I can I can tune that type of personality or that energy. So he's the life of the party and I'm the life of the party.
Okay.
And that doesn't necessarily
You're the life of the radio show, so I mean, take it away.
So I think that's our similarities. Like, in the life of the party doesn't always have to mean turn up. Like, you get what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
It could just be your
be-
energy, your personality. Now I'm becoming my character.
Just
Just the energy and
Just vibing.
Just vibing.
You're him right now,
Yes,
so-
I'm him right
He
now.
brought it out.
You know,
He
so
brought it
like,
out,
you know,
so.
so just being that personality. So yeah, I can say that.
You're feeling his emotion right now. I can
I'm
feel
feeling
it.
his
I definitely
energy.
feel
So
it.
yeah, just you know.
So everybody, make sure you guys stay tuned for season 2. I don't know if you want to either try to come back here before November, or I can have you call in when you want to do the release date that week.
Okay.
So we
cool.
can have not really like a countdown, but we can have people that tune into that show.
That's
They
great.
can maybe you'll have like some exclusive information or whatever to tell them, and they have to listen to that show for the information
Yes,
before they
that
come
would be
to
great.
your release.
Yes, an
whatever,
episode. I
so-
promise you guys, you're gonna love the episode. Tiff, what did you think about the episode? The first
I
one.
loved it. I loved it. I like, like I said, keep me occupied. So I'm staying positive. I'm interacting with my family,
That's good.
with my son. Just staying positive.
Yeah, so we episode when we talk about a lot of different things. Like I said, things that's happening right now. It just coincide with a lot of things, not purposely, but it was just maybe the timing. So
And it's coming out now.
It's coming out now,
With
so
the
I think
timing,
people
so-
will be able to see it, and it's gonna be it's one of the best episodes I think so far. Definitely better than season 1. Season 2 is definitely way better than
Well,
season
I
1.
think a lot with all the seasons that happens too, because it's more of like growing up, maturity, getting to know the character much more.
Yeah.
And season 1 always is like kind of like the beginning where you're starting to get to know your character, trying to
Yeah.
grow up, get to know this, get to know that, socializing.
yeah.
But then it always comes out to like season 2, season 3,
So much
where a lot of
better.
people's they do.
I was
for
just
different
watching it, and I'm
series.
just stepping outside as the creator. I was watching it, I'm like, wow, it's so much better. You get what I mean? Like, it's just
Well, it's
better.
just it's the start too. It was
Yeah.
your very first season, so
Yeah.
you had a way that you wanted to portray it, and then season 2 is something totally different that you want to portray, and it's like, okay, I want to do this 100% different,
Yeah.
this way, and you like it that way versus the first way.
Right.
You never want to stay with what the first way is. You always want to change it up some way, somehow.
Absolutely,
So
yes.
you always want to make sure you do that in a series or just anything.
Absolutely.
But I just want to say thank you both so much for being here. I really am thankful that Ricardo, you came, and Tiffany. Again, I'm so sorry Kenneth couldn't be here, but it was really nice getting to kind of know you on the show and everything, and everything. And hopefully, I'll have you guys back in the studio, maybe with more cast members, depending upon COVID.
Yeah, right,
Because I'm
right.
sure that's what kept a lot of them away, which is fine. But thank you both so much. Again,
you.
just give out the link where people can find it. I know you said it's on YouTube.
Yes, on YouTube. You guys, please go to Bitter and Broken web series. The whole season 1 is out there, episodes 1 through 8. You guys subscribe if you can. We would love for you guys to share it so other people could get an opportunity to watch it. And leave comments. We love the comments. You guys can go on Facebook, Hurt People, Bitter and Broken the series. Instagram, Hurt People series. And again, CTF Network, CTF TV network.
Yeah,
you
I was
guys
gonna
can,
say, you're missing something.
tune in. You guys can tune in and watch it on there, the season 1. So we're excited about that. Be on the lookout for our billboard. And it'll be in Trenton, New Jersey on October 5th.
There you
be
go.
Be on the lookout for our commercial. It'll be out in November. And just the sky is the limit. More radio interviews and just whatever, God has for us, we going to have.
And keep vibing and just
Right.
be you and have a great series and a great show.
Absolutely, yeah.
So thank you both so much for being here and have a
Thank
great
you.
night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
That was
Wow,
cool.
thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Wow.
For today?
Yeah, I didn't know if you guys wanted to take a picture.
Sure.
Are you good with that? Or is that okay?